kind, slightly inaccurate introduction. Not sure I was the managing director of the whole of Cara, but I'll take that. I'll take esteemed as well. And it is a new presentation. It's not something we did before, but it is building on that. So I understand where that came from. I'm not going to sell either, but it's important that you know where we got our insights from. I run a consultancy that works for media owners. We tell media owners, people who want to be media owners, and technology companies how to make more money and be more professional in digital and digital commerce. And we do that because we have a lot of data. And we have a lot of data that we collect from client panels, industry panels, agency panels, our own data pools. We feed that data into our own benchmarking tools, and from that you can see we have a range of consultancy products out the back of that. And so that isn't to tell you as today isn't about sales, it's to say that's why we should be well placed to understand trends and themes for premium publishers in the marketplace as a whole. So we did a presentation like this about a year ago, and unlike most research companies or consultancies, I'm going to see if we got it right. So 12 months ago, we said these were the 10 things to look out for if you're a premium publisher. The difference and the splits between network agencies, the trading desks, and the actual media agencies, I think that did happen a lot last year. The premium fight back, so smaller premium publishers becoming, engaging in the scale that's available in digital, i.e., can a small premium publisher compete against the big guys? And I think that happened a lot last year. Better use of e-commerce data, the retailers becoming media owners. That partially happened, I think. The branded and sponsored content piece certainly happened. You've only got to think of the Tumblrs and the BuzzFeeds, but also the increasingly open perception of the typical sort of magazine, newspaper publishers to the world of sponsored content. So that certainly accelerated a lot last year. Obviously, formats did. I think video was held back a bit by research. I think, again, we predicted that video engagement would be up with the metrics to match. I'm not sure that really did happen last year or this year. I'm not sure the mobile found its premium proposition. I think there's still a long way to go in mobile. The media not owners, so people who weren't media owners but competing in the media space, that certainly happened a lot last year. And personalisation, so the personal experience is happening a lot more amongst the publisher world. So I guess we give ourselves a 7 out of 10 for last year. So on to this year. Here's 10, I think it's actually 12, things to look out for if you're a premium publisher across the next 12 months. The first thing I want to say, and this is a UK-based number, but it will be the same in all territories across Europe. If you take the UK as an example, £17 billion is spent in media and direct marketing. A few years ago, £17 billion was spent in media and direct marketing. In a couple of years' time, £17 billion was spent. It's not going to change, right? If you want to make more money, it comes from churn. You have to take money from someone. If suddenly someone makes 400 million quid, it's come from somewhere else. So it's all about churn, being clear about your proposition. Your money is going to come from another media owner, or another media owner is going to threaten your revenue. The overall pot really won't change. So if you keep that in your head for the next few slides, that's the sort of big number. And as I say, it'll be the same in each European territory, I'm sure. As you can see from the Google images, it's also the amount of world-like planets in our galaxy. But, you luck out sometimes on Google images. So there's the amount of money that we'll make will be about the same. Here's the things to look out for if you're a premium publisher across the next year. I think the first and most fundamental thing, clearly, is the accelerating commercial impact of the big guys. So display ads in social. Look what's happening with LinkedIn. Look at Twitter. Look at Facebook ads. They're evolving. They're improving their display ads. Database match products. This is a real fundamental for a lot of our clients. If a client can bring their database to a media owner, match those databases and target ads accordingly, which you can with some of the big guys, that is hugely compelling. It takes out all that fuzziness around behavioral targeting or contextual targeting. It's actual data matched with actual data. So that's a very compelling thing across the next 12 months. SME services. So Twitter, as an example, suddenly opened up the services to the longer tail of clients. That, again, will have an impact on commercial revenues. The big partnerships, Facebook, Google, playing more nicely together in the network and media space. Mobile dominance, couple of players, 3/4, 2/3 of all mobile revenue in 2 players. So obviously that squeezes the premium publishers and expect that to accelerate. More exciting ad formats. So look at the commerce-enabled ad formats on YouTube. Look at the new ad formats on Twitter. You know, it's not like a few years ago where the big guys' ad formats were a bit crummy. Their actual proposition now is quite exciting and enticing to brand advertisers. And those data partnerships. You know, if you can match real data with real data, that is the digital landscape for the foreseeable future. So when we're talking to premium publishers, don't worry about the other, you know, the big guys. Be clear about your proposition and what you're going to do about living in that ecosystem. So that's certainly the first takeout. And if you look at the, you know, this looks very much like a display ad to me on Google. The new Android operating system has a lot of, obviously, Google-enabled functionality on the home screen. That will bring more display ads. People who you didn't think ran display ads will be taking display money out of the market. So again, as a premium publisher, got to be ready for that shift, that fundamental shift in the market. The second thing, premium publisher, I think next 12 months, there should be a fundamental shift in how the data market works. So traditionally, third-party data, data profiles, etc. I've had a few challenges, you know, perception challenges in market. And I think over the next 12 months, 3 interesting things could happen. One is new pricing models. If you buy data or you attach data to media, should it have the same price? Like, why is it a certain price? Why is it a fixed price? Why doesn't the price of the data change with who the individual is or change with the price of the media? You know, more dynamic pricing for data. New pricing models. Still in the market, you say, how much is this data? And they go, 15%. 15%. Why is it 15%? Well, it just is 15%. So I think if data makes media 37% more efficient, it should be 37% more expensive. I know 15% is the universal number of all media. So if anyone asks you any question, the answer is 15%. But it still is, in layering on targeting is 15%. I mean, it's not a smart way to help clients invest more in data, which is clearly a potentially good place to invest their money. And standards. So we're going to buy an auto intender, we're going to buy a travel intender. Until people agree what those standards are and what an auto intender is, then you're just making it difficult for clients to invest in premium publisher data solutions. So those 3 areas I would hope will really shift over the next 12 months. The third area for me, so working with a lot of premium publishers, is there is a sort of change between sort of programmatic over here and creative solutions over here, which, you know, I get. But creative solutions, was it over this side? Creative solutions is a pain in the arse. So we have a lot of clients who get 300, 400, 500 creative solutions briefs a year. You can't do brilliant creative solutions when you're doing 2 or 3 a day and everyone's asking for media first, full integration, editorial support, etc. So what we've seen a lot of recently is the return of high-impact formats that are using smart pieces of data to sort of take the heat off that proper integrated creative solutions. I think you'll see a lot more creative solutions briefs answered by using smart publisher data in smart ad formats, because it's just not practical for them to answer every single integrated brief as a integrated brief. So better ad formats that use data to target. Here's a visual gag for anyone English over the age of 45, probably. It's an old sketch about class, but what we're going to see over the next few years, or the next 12 months, is the real impact of viewability. So you're going to see some real standards coming out in Q1 around viewability. They're going to have a very low bar. They're going to have a very low bar to encourage publishers to raise that bar themselves. But again, I think there's 3 things on viewability. One is the rules of engagement. So as a premium publisher, are the agencies going to trade with you on viewability, which clearly is a fundamental within a trading agreement. Second is site design. Viewability is coming. It's a reality. People are going to ask you about it. How much of your site is viewable? What are you going to do with your ad formats? How can you change your site to take full advantage of this? And third is attribution models, which is a real fundamental, which is if an agency has an attribution model which runs on impressions served, not impressions viewed, what is that attribution model telling that agency? So how those models will change will, again, fundamentally change how media is planned and how it's traded and what value people put on media. So I think, again, next 12 months will be viewability in the sort of trading world, in real life. Fifth area for the premium publishers, more revenue from current assets. There's two sides to this. On one side, you've got proper new assets. So you've got the Vogue College of Fashion. It's 20 grand a year. It's sold out. It's a classic brand extension. Makes total sense using the same assets to make more money. The one below it is the Times Learning. So it's Times tutorials. So the Times tapping into the middle class fear about children's schooling and where their children are going to go to school and who's better and the value of education to develop an online tutorial business. So again, makes total sense. Right down to Guardian Coffee. That is obviously an extreme example of a brand extension. So you're going to have to make more money out of the same assets if you're a premium publisher. On the other side, things like CNN Trends, Fast FT, it's packaging up the same editorial, it's using social information, it's seeing what's popular, and it's creating more bite-sized information, which gives you more assets to sell, new inventory, new ad formats, etc. So you're driving new revenue from the same assets is an absolute fundamental for next year. The sixth area, premium publishers, how to make money over the next 12 months. Single customer view. And I think there's a couple of things here. One is, this is not about advertising on its own. It's about how to drive marketing, upselling, cross-selling, subscriptions, better integration. The fundamental takeout here is if you're a premium publisher, moving from viewer to customer, moving from CPM to average revenue per user. You've got to up the game on treating people like customers. To do that, you have to have a single customer view. To do that, you have to have a strategy, technology, and most importantly, probably, from personal experience, you have to have the culture and the ability to bring departments together that have traditionally worked separately across a premium publisher, typically, subs, marketing, tech, etc. Those whole departments are coming into that single customer view department, if there is a department called that. There should be. The seventh area, premium publishers, making money moving forwards, stronger client relationships. And this is not me saying premium media owners go client direct. So just to make that totally clear, it's the difference between influencing and sales. So what you will have to do as a publisher is pick your top 50 clients, work out how you're going to influence them. Extreme examples, you read about Reckitt's, P&G's, Unilever's, with their own trading desks, their own media teams. Of course, there'll be some extreme examples, but most people will just want to understand more about the world you live in, about how they can participate, and you as a media owner understanding how you can influence those clients is absolutely critical. They've really come back in, this whole client teams that have been disbanded maybe 3-4 years ago. That vote's really coming back because you have to influence the savvy client now if you want the agency to play ball. So I think that client influence is a huge piece for next year. Mobile, I think the key takeout here for a publisher is it's about ads on mobile, not mobile ads. So anyone who makes any money out of mobile doesn't run mobile ads. They run ads on their proposition that happen to run on mobile. We all know that Google and Facebook make 67% of all global, mobile revenue. It's because they just run an ad that runs on different platforms. It's not a mobile ad. They understand who their customer is. They've got ad integration across platforms, and they've got a single customer view. If you've got a single customer view, you can manage frequency. You can deliver an actual campaign that makes sense to a brand and a media owner, or media agency, sorry. Here's my piece of sponsored content for the day. Premium programmatic. It's important. So number 1 and number 2 strategies for the next 12 months are premium programmatic, both in digital and getting ready for traditional media. So you can already do radio, there's some TV spots, you can trade print. Programmatic's got to be a broader church than digital. And the second side is, if you're doing premium programmatic, get your creative solutions and your high-impact formats sorted. If you can do those two sort of fundamental pillars, those are the key focuses for the next 12 months. The 10th area, I think there's 12, so nearly there, closing the loop. This is, it's only the holy grail of all advertising, by the way. So if you can prove to someone, if they advertise online, you've sold some stuff in a shop, it's absolutely what everyone wants, obviously, but people are getting closer. The new Google tests are around running location-based search. If someone searches for a particular shop, they track where that search is done, and they track within the shops if people have gone into those shops. They're trialing, is local search driving people into stores? You've got Nectar and loyalty cards, partnering with people like Facebook. If I run an ad on Facebook, do people buy more of my beers? How do I track that? I track it with loyalty schemes. Done Humby, obviously, across a wide range of businesses. And down at the bottom, the frictionless side. So Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Barclaycard, dressed up as offers businesses. These are frictionless ways of getting people to see advertising, go into stores, buy stuff, and track that offline or online to offline sales. So closing the loop, getting anywhere to closing the loop, going anywhere near that will bear fruit next year from a sales point of view. One of the big things for us at the moment as a consultancy advising media owners is the merging of advertising and content. So again, classic church and state for years, departments that don't really talk to each other. The truth is they've been forced into commercial content sales. Now, you have to do a couple of fundamental things. You have to ask yourself, do you want to do this? If you do, is it new content or is it archive content? If you want to use that, is it branded or unbranded? And if you decide to do all that, you want to do it, is it more or less expensive than an advert? And how does it tie into your trading agreements? So the world of sort of commercial content is really blossoming. But you've got to get your rules. You've got to know the market inside out before you enter this, because it's obviously fraught with brand issues. And finally, for the next 12 months, we've got to find ways of making metrics and measurement useful. So while Experian works more with Nielsen to help with OCRs, great. TV and Twitter play nicely together. Facebook and TV play nicely together. They're all pushing their own agendas. We did some work with the IAB on brand advertising and digital, and the number one takeout was there's no great research that tells me whether brand advertising is working. So all those great initiatives, but you don't want 50 great initiatives if you want advertisers to spend more money in digital. You want a more unified, single view of how digital helps advertisers and brands engage with the different platforms. We don't want to spend the next 12 months developing a load of different systems and competing metrics again, because I can tell you it's one of the biggest turn-offs for clients from an investment point of view when there's multiple voices in that space. So those are the predictions. I'd say two more things. One is, why does it matter? I think it matters most fundamentally because of this peak advertising thing. So last year in America, 5 trillion ads were served in digital platforms. We all see goodness knows how many commercial messages each day. So those fundamental points we went through matter, because if premium publishers feel they have to keep making more ads because response rates go down, so they make more ads, so they show more ads, and so consumers get pissed off more, and then they show more ads, and the response rates go down, it's obviously not a good place to be. So because of this peak advertising thing, quality, content, better targeting, better ad solutions are really important. Otherwise, we're doing ourselves a disservice in the industry. And finally, no presentation is complete without Sesame Street, as you all know. If you haven't seen this is Home Lamb from Homeland, the spoof they do. It's absolutely amazing. But the point being, if you're an agency, a client, a media owner, a technology business, you're either a sheep in sheep's clothing, a sheep in wolf's clothing, a wolf in wolf's clothing, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Everyone does the same thing, right? If you're a network, you were a tech company. If you're a media owner, you're buying advertising, you're selling advertising, you're packaging up advertising. If you're a tech company, you might have a network. If you're a client, you've suddenly got a trading desk. Everyone's competing. So the key takeout from all these, a piece of advice for the next 12 months is be clear about what you want to develop, make it a quality proposition, hopefully learn from some of the things in here, and don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Package up your inventory, get a hold of your data, and make the best of it. So that's what I think for the next 12 months. So hopefully that's useful.